Individualized Education Programs, or IEPs, help you build students' strengths by planning educational services based on their unique needs. To do that, each IEP includes a description of where a student is at in terms of his or her academic achievement and functional performance. These are referred to as a student's present levels of performance. The last section of the present level statement is baseline data. Baseline data should be used as the foundation for the student's annual goals. Be aware, baseline data is not the same thing as assessment data from the initial or 3-year evaluations. Our blog series by author, consultant, and former special education director and teacher, Carol Kosnitsky, shares ideas on how you can collect baseline data and use it to set meaningful, measurable goals for each student. The first step in setting such goals is to identify a skill or behavior and make it observable. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, says that IEPs need to include measurable goals. These goals make it possible to observe a student's progress. If you can observe something, you can count it. And if you can count it once, you can count it again and again. At this point, you've used the present level statement in the IEP to describe the different areas of need for your student, like reading, writing, and regulating. And you'll go on to develop annual goals designed to raise skills in these areas. But how do you go about measuring things like improved comprehension or increased attention? Try asking yourself this question. What will it look like if the student improves or increases comprehension or attention? What will I see the student do? You can't observe a goal like the student will improve comprehension, but you can make it measurable by describing what you expect to see. So try updating the goal. It might look like this. The student will demonstrate improved comprehension by answering who, what, where, when, and why questions. The second step in setting meaningful, measurable goals for a student is to find the right performance thermometer. You should ask yourself 2 questions when choosing the right thermometer to observe a skill. 1, ask, how will the skill change for the student? Will he be able to perform this skill more often, for a longer period of time, with greater accuracy? You can find the right thermometer by picking a tool or data collection strategy that shows the part of the skill that will change. For example, if you want a student to remain on task for longer, you'll have to choose a thermometer that lets you measure and document time. 2, ask, can you use the thermometer over and over again? You'll want to take the student's skill temperature often. So the thermometer should be easy to use and help you collect data about your observations. Because you're required by law to update parents on their child's progress towards IEP goals, and you need to do it at least as often as progress is reported for students in general education, you'll need to make a plan for how you'll collect progress data throughout the year. You can use your plan for gathering baseline data to keep an eye on progress throughout the IEP cycle. The third step in setting meaningful goals is to take the student's performance temperature. One of the hardest things about setting goals is estimating how much growth or progress the student will make as a result of the supports and services they receive. We all know how frustrating it can be to monitor progress for an overly ambitious goal. On the flip side, be careful that your goals for a student don't set low expectations and add to an achievement gap. Taking the student's temperature of the skill you want them to achieve by the end of the IEP cycle may seem counterintuitive, but knowing where to start is an important part of trying to estimate changes in performance that will be challenging and reachable. For example, if you want a student to increase her time on task, find a time during the school day when she'll work independently on a task. Record the start time and the time she stops. You may want to try taking a few samples to come up with a median score. When you find an observable skill and the right thermometer to measure it, take the temperature and repeat this process for each area of need included in the present level statement. When in doubt, remember this quote by Lewis Carroll: "If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there." Without collecting clear data, you won't know where you're starting from, and anywhere you end up can look like progress. This is why using baseline data to set goals is so important.